have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I need a bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Look at that.
I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
Here, did you a favor.
Gents. I just say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yes, guys, it is a Sunday. It is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink with a Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns. Because frankly, I'm kind of bored with mainstream. Mainstream kind of sucks. And indie is where the passion is, guys. All right, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend and a nice, relaxed Sunday. I've been busy with, I've been working on some books, but I've also been working on a campaign, guys, because I'm setting up the campaign for a book that's coming up right now. It's called Safeguard issue 1, the very first issue of something new. And it's like it is associated with the Perfect 10 series. And Perfect 10 issue 6, by the way, Pau still has to draw the last 5 pages. So Daniel is working hard on the colors. Over half the book has been lettered, so that's all moving. It's all moving, guys. It's really cool. I am so looking forward to get that book done and in your hands, guys. All right, guys. I usually around this time I get mixed up with the time zones because last night we had to like set the clock 1 hour earlier, right? And you guys in the United States do this in about 2 weeks, so there's always this like these few weeks that my show goes like screwy with the time zones. But this time Pops reminded me, and I am now streaming 1 hour earlier for me, not for you, but for me. So you have the same time, yeah. So thanks, Pops, for the reminder. All right, guys, let's see who is in the chat with us today. We have Pops. Welcome, Pops, from the Madness Entertainment Group. We are broadcasting through the Madness Entertainment Group, guys, so multiple platforms. So we have like commentary and viewers from all directions. If you have questions today for the guest, just drop it in the chat and we'll bring it up and we'll ask him. Welcome, Pops. Nice to see you, sir. Let's see who is in the here is the campaign link for today, season's trade paperback. It's on my channel. It's pinned. Wait, there. It's pinned. But you can find it below the video also. And Nandor, what's up, chat, says Nandor Fox Shaffer. He's waiting in the green room right now. Welcome, John, from John's Longbox. Welcome, John. Nice to see you, sir. How are you today, man? Mike, fan of JD and Jamin Darkside 703. Welcome, Mike. I made it for this one live. Ta-da-ta-da. Yes. Good day and good drink, Dave, guest and audience. Thank you so much, Mike. It's nice to see you. It's cool to have you live with us right now. Excellent. Woodim or would you mind? Would you mind? I wouldn't mind. Welcome, Woodham. Wasabi. Welcome. Matthew Creek. Welcome, sir. Nice to see you, Matthew. Let's see. Safeguard campaign will be coming. Yes, I think maybe already in about 2 weeks, right? It will be sometime early next month, I think. So, but anything can happen, so don't hold me to that, right? Welcome, Darius Artist. Welcome. Nice to see you, sir. 2 weeks until a short respite here from full winter morning darkness until 8 a.m. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's early dark nowadays, right? Matthew Creek says we are one pledge away from 40% on Kickstarter for the Night Slayers. What? That's crazy. Matthew. I see you have a wrench, sir. Oh, you're already posting it. There you go. This is the link, guys, to the Night Slayers, so you can check it out. One pledge away from 40%. Well done, sir. Well done. All right, guys, it is time for the guest. It's a returning guest. Many of you know him. He's on the campaign tour right now because he has something wonderful, a wonderful series, wonderful book on Kickstarter right now, and we need to talk about that. So let's do this, guys. Let's bring him on. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have a warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. Nandor.
Hey, what is up, Dave? Man, what a lovely intro. I love your energy. And I can't believe you're on episode 197. I mean,
Yeah,
what are you gonna do like for 200? Like that's gonna have to be a big one for sure.
Yeah, right. Maybe like longer, maybe multiple guests, multiple campaigns, something
that'd be
like
fun.
that. That would
That'd
be
be so
awesome.
cool. Yeah. So glad to be here. And really excited to talk about seasons. And I'm loving what you've been sharing with Safeguard and Genuine Comics.
Oh,
I love all of your collaborations you've done with Alan Goldman. Like his art is just insane, and like he draws your characters so beautifully.
Yeah, man, it's really crazy. So, but is this because I think our maybe styles or the things
Our
that
tastes?
we make, the themes
Yeah.
are very different, which is cool. You know, you have this variety. So, but do the things that I make also appeal to you a little bit?
Oh
Like
yes,
genre-wise?
yeah, definitely.
All right.
Like when I see your stuff, like that's the kind of that's what I gravitate towards. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Cool, man. All right. Let's see. Split screen. Mike says split screen plus some kind of clone. What? Oh. 200 is Dave interviews. Yeah.
You should do that, and like you'll switch hats, you know. And
That's a good one. That's a good one. Guys, if you have like suggestions for episode 200, just let me know. I can use the inspiration. All right. Nandor. Awesome name. That's your real name, right?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally
Everyone
authentic.
asks you. Everyone asks you. So what's your for people who don't know you, right? What's your history with comics or in this creative field? What's your story?
Yeah, well, and Seasons is like directly tied to it because it was the first book that I started working on about, I would say now like 8 to 9 years ago, maybe longer, like when I came up with the idea for it. But you know, I've loved comics all my life. I've been a comic book fan for, you know, since I could read and enjoyed watching superheroes on the big screen as a kid, or, you know, watching the 90s X-Men show as a kid. Anytime I could involve myself with these heroes and all these different characters. You know, it's just like such a big part of my DNA as a nerd and as a fan. Like, I don't think there's in my 28 years of, life on this earth, like the last, I'd say 15, 20 years, I don't think there's been a month or a week where I haven't read a comic. So it's just always been a part of me and a part of my life. And my dad was a big fan of like George Reeves' Superman when he was a kid, and he really introduced me to, being a nerd, I would say,
Right.
which is really cool. But yeah, I started making comics when I was 17, 18 years old, like is when I started writing them and tried to figure out how to write comics. And I was really fascinated with writers and artists that I loved and the industry in itself. And I eventually came up with the idea for Seasons, and that was the first book that I started to put online for free for people to read when I was about 19 or 20 years old. And since then, I've been making comics. So I have about 7 books out. I put out like 1 book a year is what I try to do. And yeah, I've been, doing crowdfunding for a while. And, I've been on your show a few times, been on a lot of different people's shows, and have really enjoyed the space and getting to know so many amazing people. And I just actually a couple weeks ago was at New York Comic-Con and was able to
Cool.
meet a lot of indie creators that I've only, spoken with online. So that was really awesome. And got to meet so many cool people. So yeah, I don't know, like even if I didn't make comics would always be a part of my life. And I think I just loved how much history there was, and how much it's such a when you unlock comics for yourself, whether it is like from a particular character or a brand or whatever, it's so hard to not leave. Like, you get so absorbed in it. It's like, man, like there's just so much lore and so many conversations to be had. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine a life without it.
Yeah. There's sometimes too much, When
Yeah.
you're a
right.
comic book, when you want to collect comic books right now, where do you begin? There's what would you recommend if someone comes to you? Hey, I like to check out comics besides your own, right? What would you tell them?
Yeah. It's a really great question. And I always, you always have to kind of start with, I think, a particular run, or like when a writer or an artist started on a character. Especially depends on someone's taste, because while there are collections of like, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's old stuff that you could give someone and be like, hey, start here. It may not be to their modern sensibilities. And so you kind of have to think, well, what kind of reader are you? Like, do you like this art style, or you want something more modern? But if I was to give anyone a book, it would probably be, if they were into superheroes, and the most current stuff, I'd recommend Marvel's Ultimate line that they've been putting out, just because it's a self-contained universe that you could start, fresh. And even the old Ultimate universe, Mark Miller stuff with Brian Hitch would be a good start as well, because you also see some of those aesthetics echoed in the MCU. So I feel like, that would be a good gateway drug into comics, so to speak. But if it wasn't for those, it would be like, I'm a huge fan of Captain America run by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. Like, that would be something I would give someone. Or J. Michael Straczynski's Amazing Spider-Man, if they're a Spider-Man fan, that would be a great way to get into it. But, also when it comes to the indie stuff, you can't go wrong with reading any of Ed Brubaker's Criminal series, or any of his independent books that he's been putting out. And also with, certain writers like Hickman or Rick Remender would be a really good one to share. So it all comes down to taste, I guess. But if they like superheroes, or if they liked, fantasy or crime, I feel like there's a lot of great options out there for people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mike says, as an Agent Mulder fan, respect for your middle name too.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got it right on the nose. I've probably talked about this before, but that's where the Fox comes from. My parents were
Really?
big X-Files fans. So and that was, I was born in 97, and X-Files I think started in 92 or 93. So yeah, they were big fans of X-Files, and I'm so happy because I love the name, and
Yeah.
and I'm a big fan of the show. I love the show too. So sometimes you risk naming something, and like maybe your kid won't like it. Like
Yeah.
if you were to, or like sometimes people will name their pets, and they don't really care. But like if you have a child, and it's like you're kind of taking a risk doing that. But thankfully, I have some of the same tastes as my parents.
Yeah, it sounds better than Nandor Palpatine or something like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work.
No.
I've met a guy before named Anakin, and I was like, man, that's such a, I don't know, that's too much. Like I couldn't do that.
Seriously, I was wondering, by the way, when I was a kid, like why did Luke and Leia have this relatable name? Like
Yeah.
this normal Earth name, and then you had like Anakin,
Right. Yeah, it's so, and like Padme, like their names are so
Yeah.
different, so strange, compared to a normal name like Luke or Leia. So yeah, I agree with you, and even Ben, or Obi-Wan, like that was a good way to kind of bridge that a little bit, but
Yes.
yeah, so odd.
William says Fox Mulder, cool. Yeah. There's other says gotta feel bad for kids named Khaleesi. Khaleesi. Seasons 1 through 5 is tops. Oh, from
for X-Files.
the
Yeah.
X-Files. Yeah. Not your seasons.
Right.
By the way, talking about your seasons, you mentioned that you came up with this when you were 17, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you published your first book when you were 19.
20. Yeah, I was 20 years
20.
old. Yeah.
Right. So I saw this campaign. I was like, all right, this is book 1 and book 2. So you made 2 books, or you made multiple, or what's the?
Yeah. So I've only made the first 2 books so far. And when volume 2, so it started out as a webcomic, and then I crowdfunded the first 2 volumes years ago as these kind of exclusive limited edition hardcovers. And as Anthony and I were working on volume 3, and I was working on other projects, I sold out of all of my hardcovers for both
Excellent.
volumes. So I was like, well, there's really no point continuing this series if no one can catch up, if no one can read a volume 1 and pick up a volume 1.
Mhm.
And so I thought this would be the perfect time, in anticipation for the new work, volume 3 fall, to finally, hopefully pull my audience that I've built from every other work that I've been doing since the end of the hardcover volume 2, and roll out the red carpet for this book and introduce people again, reintroduce Seasons to the world, because this is I've been working on it for so long, and when you have a series that's stuck with you for so long and you haven't finished it, it's a promise to myself and a promise to the fans. Like,
Yes.
I will finish this. This is going to get done. But it's a very ambitious series. By the end of it, it's going to be almost 500 pages. So in comics, it takes a long time, as you know.
Yes, I know. Yeah, this is I have some projects that I never started because this. And I'm like, if I start this, I'm locked to this project for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
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 So Mike says, not to say that Nandor's seasons are top as well. Indeed.
Thank you, Mike.
Welcome, AGE Comics. Welcome. And Padme. Oh, Annie, young Darth Vader. Annie. Yeah. Annie. Are you okay? Right. So there there is this gap between seasons 1 and seasons 2. What
Yes.
did you produce in between that?
Yeah. So, you know, with Seasons Volume 1, after that came out, I worked on this project called Lifeline, which was a 96
Lifeline.
page original graphic novel that I put out. I worked with 7 different artists from all around the world, and
That's
they
nice.
each contributed to a different chapter. And it tells this. It was kind of an experimental idea that I had. I guess as all my projects kind of start out as, but I wanted to trace the life of a character, just a regular Midwestern guy who lives in the US, and show his life through the decades and show different art styles that represent his life and that carry it forward. So you in chapter 1 he's a young boy, and with each chapter you see his life through the eyes of a different character. And so um, you follow a different decade in his life, and that's why the art styles change.
Mm,
So it's a very, it's a straight drama. It's kind of a story about legacy and family and perception, how people see you throughout your life. And I've always found comics to be such a great way to get inside characters' heads like no other medium can. And I thought it would be so fascinating if the main character of a story, while he is the main character, you only get a glimpse of him and you only get to understand him through the eyes of others. And just like
mm.
us, just like us in the real world, like anyone's opinion of us or who we are and how we interact with people, that is how our legacy will be remembered. So
Right.
so yeah, I did that book. And that was amazing, and I got to work with a lot of amazing people on it. And then I worked on Manchild, which is a project that I've been on here before to talk about.
Yeah.
And I put out the first 3 issues of that, and then also the Fabled Offering, which was a 48-page sci-fi fantasy one shot. So yeah, I've been working on multiple projects, and as Anthony has been working on other projects, the artists for Seasons, we finally have, I think, come together to a point where we're able to start promoting Volume 3 and getting back to work on Seasons.
Sure. Wow. AGE Comics says, I just picked up Volume 1. Looking forward to it.
Oh man, thank you so much. Are you backer number 50? Please let me know. That would be so
Let
special.
me see. Let me refresh. Maybe he was the 49. He is 50.
Oh yes, we made it. We made it to 50.
Thank you, man.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
Excellent.
Woo!
Oh man, perfect. I was hoping we'd hit 50 today, so you just made my day.
AGE, thank you so much. Fantastic. Excellent. Wow. So, do you, by the way, do you fund all your projects through crowdfunding?
Yes.
books?
Yeah. I've never left the world of crowdfunding. I don't think I'd be able to make comics without it. Like it's been such a great way to build an audience, and to help recoup some costs and help use all of these resources to be able to make a quality product, whether it be the paperweight or the paper finish or all those little cool bells and whistles that we like to do with premium products, with premium comics. And so yeah, without crowdfunding and Kickstarter, for me has always been just the best place to share your work with others. And I can't I almost can't imagine a world without crowdfunding. And I know there's been so many creators over the years who just printed their own comics, made their own comics, and it's people like that I go, like, you're a level above me, because that passion is something that I couldn't even imagine having to be able to do that on your own, and to just go to shops and call shops and try to get your work out there before the age of
That's
crowdfunding.
difficult.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's wild. But we definitely live,
Mm.
this has been echoed so many times, but if anyone wanted to make a comic, like this is the day and age to do it.
Exactly. I remember then when I was young, like indie comics had this particular indie vibe, this indie style,
Yeah,
And
like
nowadays, indie,
underground. Yeah.
yeah, more like underground. And nowadays, indie like nudges towards like professional level, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It's in a lot of cases. I mean, I'm seeing books on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and I'm like, this looks better than
Yeah,
pro
yeah.
books,
Better also.
and so it's wild.
Yeah, and I think crowdfunding has a lot to do with that also. So we
Yeah.
didn't have that like what is it, 20 years ago or something, So yeah. All right, let's bring up your campaign, sir. Let's talk about that. Share the screen. Then we go to Seasons Volume 1, Spring and Summer on Kickstarter right now. Look at this. Check this out, man. 50 backers.
Heck yeah.
It's real. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, Seasons Volume 1 and 2, Spring and Summer, trade paperback over 200 pages. Begin Fletcher's one-year journey as his powers change with every passing season. The hit Supernatural series returns in soft cover. Right. So does this also mean you have like different artists on this because there's several years between them, right?
Yeah, actually, no. Anthony Gonzalez Clark is the artist for the entire series. So he did volumes 1 and volume 2, and he's been working on volume 3. So we're sticking to it. We're staying on course, and it's been amazing to see Anthony's evolution as an artist because obviously if you do over 200 pages of something, you'll get better, right? So readers will see, from volume 1, and he it's really cool because with volume 1 he mostly did traditional. Like there are some pages that he would touch up digitally, or he would do some effects digitally, but a lot of it you can see his penmanship and his ink work, and there's kind of a texture to it. And as he evolved as an artist and was able to get faster and faster and switch to digital, what he was able to do has been incredible. And so like it really works with this series in particular because this book is about change, and it's about becoming a better person and progressing, and Fletcher trying to kind of put back the pieces of his life that he feels are missing. And so with Anthony getting better and hopefully myself getting better writing it, I don't know, it kind of metatextually works in a way that is really exciting.
Cool. Shall we watch the trailer?
Sure thing. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Fletcher isn't happy with his life anymore. His breaking point occurs after the love of his life rejects him, sending Fletcher spiraling through a year-long journey into a world unseen. A world full of shadows and persons with superhuman abilities and traumas not unlike his own. Fletcher soon discovers that his own powers change with the seasons, and he must not only learn how to adapt to these changes, but how to accept the changes in his own life. Enter this allegorical character study that explores complex themes of identity, mental illness, existence, purpose, and personal responsibility. Hi, I'm Nandor Fox Shaffer, the creator and writer of Seasons. The year was 2017, and I was a kid in his late teens with a dream to make a comic. That comic was Seasons, a planned 4-volume supernatural graphic novel series about a young man whose abilities change with the seasons themselves. The first volume was successfully funded on Kickstarter that same year, as was the second volume 3 years later. Flash forward to now, and I've raised nearly $50,000 crowdfunding my own projects across 9 campaigns. The only issue? Seasons Volumes 1 and 2 are all sold out. As we prepare for the launch of Seasons Volume 3 fall, I wanted to return to my origin story in comics and bring this series back to the masses. Featuring all new covers from the best in indie comics, including 2 crowdfunding exclusives, Seasons Volume 1 Spring and Seasons Volume 2 Summer returns in trade paperback format. But that's not all. For those of you who have been patiently waiting for the next chapter in Fletcher's story, This campaign features an exclusive, never before seen or published 28-page ashcan of the hotly anticipated next volume, giving readers a sneak peek of what to expect. Back this project today so that we can finish Fletcher's one-year journey and follow him as he discovers the person he was always truly meant to be.
Cool. Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah.
Phenomenal art, man. Jesus.
Yeah. The book is beautiful, and I really do consider Seasons to be like my flagship series. Anthony knocks it out of the park every time, and it's been such a pleasure to work with him. And then this may sound crazy or like unbelievable, but this is his first book as well. So like we worked on this together, and we were first time creators, and it was like we learned how to make comics together. We learned what it was like to collaborate together. And it's a really special book, in so many ways. And for me, Fletcher's story and being able to look back and like that picture in that video of me sitting there with like my first book at a con, it's like so much has changed, and so much like I've progressed so much and gotten better as a writer and a creator. So it's, I don't know, it's very nostalgic to like be revisiting it and to be sharing it again with people.
Yeah, you must be so proud when you're at your table with all these books that you are kind of responsible for,
Yeah, right. Right. And yeah, it's a great way to like show people, hey, like I'm serious about this. I love comics. I love making comics, but also, I fulfill all my books, and I'm always trying to get better with each one. And, you can trust me that this book is going to get done. And what's so great about this campaign is that, both volumes are done. The ashcan is done. And so that's, over 200 or around 230 pages that is all ready to go. And we're ready, to print these and ship these to people. So, if, and I've done, 11 campaigns across Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So, I know what I'm doing, and I love sharing my work with people, and I love seeing, people respond to it so positively.
Yeah, man. You don't have any campaigns like set for Indiegogo right now, correct?
No, not right now.
No.
So yeah, just Kickstarter. And I've thought about, doing a follow-up campaign eventually for both volumes, or maybe when volume 3 launches, I may do something where you can, catch up with volumes 1 and 2, but still thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a campaign on Indiegogo since the change.
I know. And
What's going
there's
to
been
happen
a lot
there.
of bugs, with the changes, and I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, man, I don't even recognize this site anymore.
Yeah, man.
Like it's so different.
And a lot of creators just their fulfillment statuses like reset and stuff like that. All kinds of problems. I was so happy that I didn't have something active there right now.
Same. Yeah, I saw that. I saw like it's like, how do you even know if you shipped a book out to someone now, or if they got their book? So,
Holy
and
shit, man.
that's a nightmare.
Yes.
So,
all right. Let's one more question about do you do your own like graphic design for the layout?
Actually, no. So I worked with the trade paperback editions. I'm working with Christian Dokolomansky, and he's an amazing graphic designer. He worked with Metal Ninja Studios, and he's worked with a few other studios, but he's also a letterer. But he has worked on and done logos for me for a lot of my projects, including the Fabled Offering. And so he's always been a pleasure to work with. And I knew I wanted to do something, special with this book. And he and I came up with the idea of doing these vertical, logos for the book, and they turned out wonderfully.
Looks really professional. These look like you can find them in the store. It's fantastic. Right. The characters. You start with the characters. So the story first, but you can talk about that and then the character. So you have Fletcher. That's the main character.
Correct. Yeah. So the main character story is Fletcher. He's a young man in his 20s who really isn't happy with his life and has gone through a lot of turmoil and kind of tragedy. And he's we find him kind of in a pit in volume 1, and the story engine of the series is how he's able to climb out of this pit and how he's able to overcome all of the forces that are against him.
Mm-hmm. All sold out, says Mike. How could you give customers what they want?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem we all want to have, right? As indie creators.
It is, yeah,
Sold out.
and it's been anytime I do a signing or a convention and people pick up the book, I'm always excited to see their reaction to it. And hardcovers in particular are so expensive to print, as you know, and so kind of hard to make in a sense, because you're asking people to get in on this like even higher quality product. And so that some people look at it and they're like, whoa, like what is this? Like this is really, really unusual for a graphic novel to be laid out like this. So
yeah. All right. Then we have Kathleen, his friend.
Yeah, so this is Fletcher's love interest in volume 1, and this is the character who he's kind of been pining after, and he's unable to make a connection in the way that he would prefer, and it kind of sends him spiraling because he's kind of blindsided by not being able to get what he wants, and so she kind of sets him on this path of rediscovery.
All right. Then we have the Shadow Self and the Fletcher's family, all like characters part of this book. We have more. Wow. All right. Some previews. Let's look at some previews. A lot of this art style with all the hatching. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But he draws digital, you said, right?
Well, volume 1 is mostly a mixture, I would say. But this page in particular, I think was nearly all digital.
Yeah, this is nuts. If you look at these details here, crazy. Atmospheric, also, right? So this book is black and white.
Correct. Yeah. It is a black and white illustrated book.
Is that a choice is that a financial choice, or is it because you wanted to evoke a certain atmosphere?
Yeah, no, it really became like at the start when I met Anthony, he didn't do his own color work. Now he does, which is really impressive. But I saw his line work on some of his samples when I first reached out to him, and I thought, I feel like color would ruin it or would mess it up. And because his work is so atmospheric and he's really great with shadows and with lighting. And I thought, I'm a kind of my quick pitch for Seasons is it's James O'Barr's The Crow meets M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. And what I loved about The Crow is just how much emotion is there and how much, how raw it is. And so I wanted Seasons to have that feeling as well.
Right. By the way, yesterday I saw a Shyamalan movie, Trap.
Oh yeah,
new movie.
Yeah.
What a weird movie, man.
It was definitely strange. Yeah. He's good at evoking that. And Shyamalan, he's a really interesting creator because he really started off like on the top of the world. Like I love a lot of his early films, like The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, even The Village, which is slightly a controversial take, but I love those movies, and he's had some hits and some misses, but he's such a great example of an indie filmmaker who was able to stick to his vision, and I really love a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So we have some more pages. So what's your so you started to write this when you were very young, right? So if you
Yeah.
look back right now on issue 1, for instance, are there things that you would love to rewrite or do different now?
Yeah. Yeah, I really would. And it's because again, like you learn so much, and I learned so much about, and actually I'm really thankful volumes 3 and 4 actually haven't released, because I've been able to go back and edit those scripts and make those stories stronger after working on Manchild and Lifeline and the Fabled Offering. And so when I look back on seasons, actually for this re-release, I thought to myself, maybe I'll go back and I'll change it, like I'll
Yeah.
fix it and everything. And
Mhm.
I was like, ah, like once I start doing that, I'll never stop. And so like
Yes.
I had to go, warts and all, like I want people to see my evolution, as a writer and a creator as well. Just like, Anthony, he's wanted to go back, and fix things and tweak things. And it's like, well, maybe after it's all over and it's all said and done and we want to do like, I don't know, a remastered version or something. But I really do believe once you put something out there for public consumption and it's done, if you keep trying to fix it and make it perfect, it'll never be perfect, right? And
Yeah.
so you'll kind of just loop yourself in this cycle that will never be, will be never ending.
This is true. It's true. You can Lucas this forever, but
Yeah, yeah. I keep thinking of George and his need to do that, and I understand, because he was so technologically, he thought technologically forward, and so it's like, man, like I can't imagine how many things he really wanted to change. But
this panel is nuts. What's going on here? This
and
is
that's
crazy.
a traditional page. Anthony drew all of that traditionally. So that is a scene in issue 3, so chapter 3 of volume 1, and it shows Fletcher uh, driving around the city, and he encounters all of these shadow selves that are basically committing, violent and like sexual acts and all this like crazy terrible things all in one like zombie horde fashion. So it's
Shit.
a incredible page that showcases these shadow selves that Fletcher has to contend with and fight in volume 1. It's basically humans without a conscience. So it's like the dark side of who you could be and who you are, without any consequences. So he taps into this world unseen, and he has to face his own shadow as well as the shadows of people he knows and people in the city.
That's cool. That's cool, man. So where do you draw your inspiration from to come up with these things?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pin down, but I would say, just because I'm such a consumer, I love
Love this
TV.
page, by the way. This is cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's from volume 2. So already, you can kind of see Anthony doing some new effects, with his work.
Yeah, man. Look at this rain. What it is. This is nuts.
Yeah, the
Love
motion,
it.
his kinetic energy and his visuals are just, yeah, they're just insane. So yeah, I mean, with all of my ideas, it really comes from the story and the character. And with seasons in particular, I knew I wanted Fletcher to be faced with different challenges with each book, because I knew it would be 4 volumes following the seasons of the year. And with the shadow selves, I really wanted to, if I'm going to introduce this character to people, I want to introduce not only who he is, but who he isn't, if that makes sense. And the
Mhm.
shadow selves really came from that idea of like, let me show you the good and the bad of who Fletcher is. Like let's bear it all. And if you're going to get invested in his story, and if I want you to follow him through this 1-year journey, um, I got to get you on board from the get-go and show you everything about this guy and what are his flaws and what he fails at and what his failures are. And some of those things are locked away, hidden inside him that he doesn't even realize. And that was something that I thought was really interesting to explore. And so, I'm very inspired by a lot of existential philosophy and the idea of having your Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and this dark nature inside of us all, and having to contend with that on a day-to-day basis. And so with each book, he fights the shadow selves in volume 1. In volume 2, he's taking on these like avatars of nature that he's fighting. So rain, and which represents the storm, and like rage and anger and sadness. And he fights Baker, who's on that page there, who's like a representation of hate and fire. So each book he has to take on kind of a different metaphysical enemy. So like himself in volume 1, nature itself in volume 2, and then volumes 3 and 4 will be a new theme that he has to tackle.
Right. This art is just fascinating. Look, this fire and everything. It's how everything moves.
Yeah, the impact of that.
This is a unique style. Really cool. So different techniques being used.
Yeah, there's a lot of in Anthony's work. I see a lot of Eastern, kind of manga influence, but there's a lot of Western detail that you see in his work as well, and like that's a cover by Anthony, and so you can really see how much he's evolved and how much his style has changed, and he's really implemented so many different ranges that he has.
Right.
And that's his color work as well. So you can see just what he's capable of.
Yeah. Yeah. This works, like not too much color, just enough to get this like purplish hue.
Yeah. There's a lot of moodiness, right?
Yeah,
like it's a very moody cover.
Which fits the title, seasons. Don't want to go like blasting with these modern.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to overwhelm the reader or try to present it in like this happy-go-lucky. Like it's a very dark book, but the flavors change over time as well. So I think that'll be a part of the inspiration for this book was like, how do I create something that the reader can constantly be surprised by and not be stale at all. And that was something with each book, with him taking on different enemies and him having to, try to learn more about himself. Each book is going to have kind of a different flavor, even though it's one overarching story.
Yeah. I knew that I recognized this style, Rob Willis,
yeah.
Love this cover, man. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, and that's a crowdfunding exclusive, so that's only going to be available through the direct to consumer market, I guess. And it's a beautiful cover, and Valentina Bianchi did the colors for it, and she's amazing. And this Rob Willis's original artwork is actually available for people if they want to pledge for that. It's pricey, but Rob's work is amazing. And he deserves, all of the credit for what he's able to accomplish with this. And yeah, I love what he was able to do.
Looks amazing. Yeah. And then we have this one by Anthony Gonzalez. Clark. Nice.
Yeah. So that features Heath, Judith, and Baker on the cover of that one. Yeah.
Cool. Nice, man. And blue, I like that every cover gets their own color scheme.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that one's done by Richard A. Morgan, who you may have seen his work from Blam and Glam. He does a Kickstarter series that is really beautiful, and he is an amazing painter. He does a lot of oil paints and digital paints as
Wow.
well.
It's really painted. It's actually painted, not digital.
I believe this one was digital, but yeah, he takes a lot of his traditional work that he does on canvas, and will translate it over. But yeah, this features Fletcher and Judith. They meet in volume 2, and they meet in the eye of a hurricane, and so she's like controlling the storm, this hurricane in the ocean, and he's there to kind of like not save her, but to learn about her and to figure out why she's there and what's going on. So
it's great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment in the book, and I wanted to capture it with the cover. I was like, let's go, let's do this.
So when you reach out to these artists and you commission them, do you already have the book done so they can actually read the scenes, or do you describe it to them so you have it ready before you can make the book? What's the process there?
Yeah, usually, with Seasons, it's kind of a different, I guess, story, because I had, the books done before I approached some of these cover artists. But, with my other projects, I usually only have like with Manchild, if I have, the first 2 issues done and they're working on a cover for issue 3, I'll send them issues 1 and 2 and character designs, that I have maybe for certain characters. But what's so cool about this campaign and different is like I never, when I started crowdfunding, I only really knew Anthony, and so I've never commissioned anyone to do any Seasons artwork before. So this is the first time other artists have been able to take a crack at it and to represent these characters. And so what I would usually do is, send them the PDFs, or at least certain scenes within the book, and show, like, this is what happens. And I have this rough idea of what I'm looking for, take it and run, like, let's see what we can do. But yeah, this cover by Corey Barton is amazing, and he did everything, the pencils, inks, and colors. I love his stuff.
Nice, man, nice. All right. We can go through the perks right here. That's cool. Let's do that. So for $5, people have volume 1 of the PDF.
Yes. Yeah. So like, there's no reason to pass up on this campaign. At least I wanted to give you no reason to. $5, you get over 100 pages. We get you in the door, and I hope we keep you. But I really want this series to be. I want it for the masses. I feel like it's such a big epic that I don't want to turn any readers away by any price point. And if there's a way I can get your foot in the door just to read volume 1, hopefully you'll stay for the entire series.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Volume 1, volume 2 PDF, a bundle for $10. So both volumes, cool. Then you have the Ash Can, volume 3 for $12. Cool.
Yeah, so this is only available as a physical Ash Can. So like, I won't be, it won't be around digitally, or there won't be any digital copies going around. So, and this will be rare. Like, I'm only going to print how many orders that I get for it. So, and I wanted to give backers who may have backed volume 1 or volume 2. I wanted to give them something to look forward to, and something to get in this campaign that they can get a sneak peek. And Anthony is like killing it. So it's really been awesome to see what he's been able to do with these characters now.
Yes, absolutely. Really cool. So do you sometimes have that you so you have like a story planned, right? Or laid out, even maybe written? Some sections, right? Do you sometimes change things while you're working on like the current book, and then things like change within the story?
Yeah, they do. Like, I when I was working on volumes 1 and 2 with Anthony, we would we would change some things around, whether it just be the pacing. There wasn't really anything in the story, like the core plot points that changed. But when we finished volume 2 and I was working on other books and I went back to my scripts for volumes 3 and 4, I took, a red pen and I printed out my scripts and I went through them all, and I was just like, cutting scenes and trying to like trim things down and make it as tight as possible.
Mhm.
And, editing dialogue, because I feel like I've gotten so much better at understanding dialogue pacing and being able to, show rather than tell, which, is just like the core component of making comics.
Mhm.
And, uh, uh, a lot for the next 2 volumes, I feel like has been altered, not like, huge story chunks, but just the flow of the story and the tightness of the story.
Right. Volume 1 trade paperback, cover A for $15. People can get that. More than 100 pages, guys, for just $15. That's a fantastic deal.
Thank you. Yeah.
And volume 2 is also $15. Cover A, yes. You have various covers. Some covers are a bit more pricey, like this one, $25. Cool. Another one for $25, cover B. I love this painted style. Then we have the Rob Willis cover for $30. Yeah. And we have the Corey Barton cover also for $30. So whatever you prefer, guys. Volume 1 and Volume 2 trade paperback physical bundle for $30. 2 books, 200 plus pages. That's a good deal. The whole shebang. This is 2 trades plus the ash can. $40. Right. And for $45, you have the Volume 2 summer hardcover. What's this?
Yeah. So, I only have like, I think 20 left of the Volume 2 hardcover from my first ever print run. And so I wanted to give people, the last chance to pick up my remaining copies that I have. And so, like only, less than 1,000 of these were printed in the world. And, this is the only way to get this. So like, if you want the first printing of Volume 2, I'm never going to print this again. It's the, only available through this campaign to pick up this hardcover.
Mm-hmm. Great. Mike says, no matter the cost, those are highly competitive trade paperback prices.
That's what I was going for. Like I said, I want you to look at this campaign and go, why not? Like let's check this out and let's get in on this, because it's a lot of pages, it's a lot of story, and I know how the economy is, and I know people are thinking about the holidays and whatnot, and so I wanted to make sure that the baseline, if you just want the baseline book, you can get it and you won't feel bad about purchasing it.
Exactly. Welcome, Dark Side is Comics.
What's up?
Are you back to your Dark Side is Comics thingy? Yeah, I think YouTube changed things, so now you're like, because he's now Cosmonaut Comics. His channel is called Cosmonaut Comics, guys, which you should subscribe to for daily comic book reviews.
Heck yeah.
Right. Let's see. And then for $150, you have the Foxhole Comics bundles, all your old material plus your new books.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Like, if you're like, I want to get on the Nandor gravy train and like, just pick up everything that I've ever done, this is for you. And you also get a Foxhole Comics t-shirt. So this is over, 400 pages of comics. It's 3 graphic novels, a one shot, and 3 single issues plus the ash can. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of comics.
Yeah.
And if you're like, hey, I want to support Nandor. I love what he's doing. I'm excited about what he's doing. There's also, it's kind of discounted from getting the individual books by themselves. So yeah, it's a catch-all.
Yeah, you have a catalog, man. For some reason, everybody's handles are showing instead of their usernames. Yeah, I noticed. Right, $250. Original art plus volume 1 and volume 2 trades. So you get a page. This particular page.
No, actually, so what I'm going to do if people back this is if they back this reward, I'm going to send you the original pages that I have, and you can pick one. So you can pick which original art you would like.
Yeah.
I thought about doing separate tiers for each page, but it seemed like such a hassle to do all those different ones. And I was like, well, I don't want to like clog up the campaign page with all of these different options. So if you do back at this tier, I'll send you options and examples, and you can pick one you would like.
Yeah, I did it. I did it the same way with this PDF, but you have to make sure that people can pick multiple. So they have to favorite, and then because sometimes they pick the same.
Oh, right.
Multiple backers, right? Yeah, that sometimes happens. Original art plus cover B. Okay.
Yeah, so you can get Luke Eidenschink's original art for this cover.
Right. The cover.
Yeah. So this is the cover art for this book, and you also get a copy of his cover for volume 1.
Fantastic. Cool, man. Wow, yeah, a lot of items. They have the Rob Willis art. Yeah, the original work. That's great. That's great. All right, then some add-ons, but people can check those out. We don't have to go through that. So the link to this campaign, guys, is pinned in the chat. It's also below this.
We got another backer. Woo!
We do.
Yeah.
51.
Oh my gosh.
Right, let's bring it up. There we go.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
Woo!
Let's go. Thank you so much.
A little Brink boost. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Right. Very nice, says Mike. And he says, we like a lot of comics. Yes, we do. Fantastic. Guys, go check out the campaign or share it out. Share it through social media. Tell other people about this campaign, about these books. There are people out there who never heard of Seasons before this series, and they need to know about it, right? So share it out. Sharing is caring. Sharing helps. Every little bit helps. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you all for backing. Really cool.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. What a pleasure. Love to see it live. It's always exciting because we're always, as creators doing our campaigns, we're always checking. We're always trying to see like, where are we? And are people responding to it? Are they backing? And so it's always awesome to catch.
Well, they are responding. You launched like 5 days ago.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Look at you go, man. You're like 51 backers already. Great. Keep going, man. All right. Nandor, thank you so much for being my guest for today. And showing us for your new campaign. Looks great. Good luck with it. We hope you make $1 million. So.
Me too. Me too.
Right. And special thanks to the chat, to all you guys with us today, for your commentary, for your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike, and I'm very sorry. Yeah, so
you can blame me if you dislike this. It's all my fault.
It's not you. You're wonderful, guys. I'll be back next week. So I think the same time for you guys. The same time, not for me. For you guys, the same time, same channels. Brand new guests. So and Pops says, great show, Dave. Thank you so much, Pops. Thank you all so much, and see you next time. Bye, guys.